And here is Chapter 6, The Great Escape from Manster. This is an incredibly tense run, with multiple ways of leaving the castle town. So, that being said, I will focus mainly on one method, the way I like to go about it, though I will briefly mention a couple alternate means of proceeding in this level. If you rescued the children from 4X, here is where it pays off, as there are 6 houses with many different goodies for you to get. Also, since you are finally outdoors, Karen, Brighton, Nana, and Fergus McIntosh can now mount up, and for the former two, can access their primary weapons. But a wrinkle to all this is that you have a sort of time limit of around 15 turns for this chapter, as on that enemy phase, Galzus will appear to chase you down. He has near max stats across the board, a souped up version of the Brave Sword named the Master Sword, and 5 movement stars, so you should really complete this chapter before he appears. Adding to this is the appearance of 2 groups of cavaliers on turn 13 that are the lures to draw you back towards the castle and engagement. This is a trap, do not engage them. You should aspire to leave before either of these events happen and throw a wrench in your plans. But these are the only reinforcements of the chapter, so akin to number 5, what you see is largely what you get. At the beginning, Karen states that she can simply carry people over the south wall to the exit point in the southeast. And this is certainly possible, but doing so means abandoning most of the items you'll probably be able to get in the castle town, so I'd only recommend this if you absolutely, positively cannot complete this chapter. How I like to proceed is going backwards towards the door and funneling my units through the eastern entrance to the town, rather than engaging the castle guard on the west head-on. You can also visit the storage to magically retrieve some iron and hand axes that you've hopefully deposited for Daljan, Brighton, and a soon-to-acquire axe user as well. Meanwhile, Fergus McCool dismounts and has Karen carry him with a door key over the wall to where the stores are, and they alone will proceed through that door and snag 4 of the houses as they travel clockwise through the town. Similar to Chapter 10 of Path of Radiance, none of the enemies will actively seek you out until you engage one, or an enemy ends their turn in range of one of your units. Once either happens, however, the entire enemy contingent, sans the general and 2 bishops, will peel off towards you, and in the position you should be in, the houses and single-file pathways make for an excellent defensive position. This helps in dealing with them greatly, as the bishops with Meteor will be unable to support the advancing units, and if you try to take them all out at once from the start, you'd likely be overwhelmed by the amount of magic users on display. But with the armors and mages basically coming at you one at a time, you should have a much easier deal. Hellfire is probably too heavy for Leafus to steal, as you would need 8 build, but I wouldn't stress about capturing them. They only sell as well as Thunder Tomes, and only 2 units in the game can feasibly use Hellfire, one of those being near unusable as a unit herself, and the other coming 3 chapters before the end of the game. But now that you have multiple cavalry units, capturing the armors is now feasibly possible, and in the top right house is a rapier that will make that much easier. Unlike most Fire Emblem games, the rapier is not Lord exclusive, as anyone with the requisite sword rank can wield it. It retains its effective bonus against cavalry and armors, though it is largely useless against anything else. It is only slightly stronger than a slim sword. To the left of the house with said sword is another dwelling that lets you recruit a new unit, Hicks. This Axe Knight is completely disposable and forgettable, as there is literally nothing special about him. His growths may be marginally better than Brighton's, and he does have a supremely higher PCC of 2, but he has no prior training, no skills, and lower weapon ranks probably across the board. There is 0 reason to actively use Hicks, aside from using his poleaxe to try and score a lucky hit on a cavalier, but good luck even accomplishing that with the shitty hit rate. Ah well. Anyway, while those 2 houses can easily be visited with your main force, with this strategy it is more efficient to have Karen and Fergus Dingwall take care of the other 4. With her Pegasus, Karen can easily swoop in and out at each door and glide away to safety, with Fergus Calhoun at her side so he can take care of the infantry you'll pass by, aided by their mutual support. Going clockwise from the very bottom right, the houses contain a Holy Water, Knight Proof, Odo's Scroll, and Elite Manual. The Holy Water you should be familiar with by now, but the other 3 are new additions. The Knight's Proof is Thracia's version of the Master Seal, and it promotes any unit that is at least level 10, sans Leaf and one other character, who both have story-based promotions. The Odo Scroll is the 4th in the series of Crusader memorabilia, and it simply boosts skill growth by 30%. It isn't one of the more flashier bonuses, but it definitely helps. As for the Elite Manual, it's the first skill book you'll acquire, and as implied, they'll give that skill to the unit they are used on. Elite is Thracia's version of Paragon, and it doubles EXP gain. It can be tempting to burn this right away, but there are at least 2 units you'll get later on that will really appreciate this more, so I'd advise you to hold on to it for now. Back to the actual escaping, the villagers will open the bottom door for you if any unit ends their turn next to it, so you needn't waste a lockpick or key. The 2 bishops with Psychic are tempting, but you probably don't have the time and resources to safely deal with their meteors and the boss general. But if you can find a way, likely utilizing the 2 holy waters you should have, then give it a go, but I usually just skip them. As with the previous chapters, make sure everyone's inventory is in order before leaving. In particular, I would advise handing the Brave Axe to Brighton and the Brave Sword and Rapier to Fergus before leaving. You may also want to have Karen cart items to sell to one of the shops south of the storage, as she can fly back over the wall and escape by the south exit easily. Once again though, Leaf should leave last. Next time, what should be an incredibly tense and frustrating level, I will show you how to completely trivialize. You get to fight back against the machine now, and it's awesome.